When the results for the written exam and the interview were published, scores that placed me firmly at the top, I thought my admission to the Whitmore University Research Lab was a sure thing. But with a single sentence, Victoria Sterling gave my spot to the student ranked dead last. A scholarship case. Her reasoning? If you're going to support someone, you should support them all the way. She wanted to help him achieve his dream. As for me, she said I had her. That was enough. She wanted to play the savior, but she sacrificed me to do it. If that's how it is, I don't want her either. After all, I can't survive without love, but I can't survive without a future. When the admission results dropped, I stood on the street corner, dazed. I knew nothing in life was 100% guaranteed, but this was a blind side I never saw coming. In previous years, the Whitmore Lab's acceptance rate for their own doctoral candidates was practically automatic. Every other candidate on the list made the cut. I was the only one, the #1 ranking student, who was rejected. I opened social media and saw the celebration had already begun. A post on my feed read, "The underdog achieves the dream. Who says this isn't success?" The photo was a screenshot of the acceptance letter to Whitmore Lab. It was Caleb Reed, the guy who ranked last in every assessment category among the candidates. Victoria had liked the post. Her comment, "Keep fighting." A senior researcher involved in the hiring process called me, sounding concerned. "Ethan, did you step on anyone's toes recently?" "No, Mark. Why do you ask?" He sounded perplexed. "The student who took your slot. The official reason for his acceptance is that his undergraduate background is more aligned with the lab's future research direction. We all know that's just corporate speak for." He paused. I heard through the grapevine that Victoria pulled some strings. "You didn't piss her off, did you?" Hearing that chilled me to the bone. Not many people knew Victoria and I were together. Her father was the majority shareholder of the Whitmore Lab. She had insisted we keep our relationship quiet to avoid accusations of nepotism, ensuring that when I got in, it would be on my own merit. I used to thank her for being so thoughtful. Ideally, my acceptance would have been clean. The irony was bitter. Now people thought I lost the spot because I had offended her. I thanked Mark and hung up. Almost immediately, her text came through. "Results are out?" I replied, "You knew long before I did, didn't you?" My phone rang seconds later. I declined the call. After rejecting her a few more times, I blocked her on everything. I could live without a girlfriend, but I wasn't going to let anyone destroy my career. My best friend, Josh Miller, dragged me out to dinner to cheer me up. As luck would have it, the world is a small place. Here's to our handsome Caleb, successfully getting into his dream lab. Cheers! Victoria was standing next to Caleb Reed, smiling radiantly at him. They were standing way too close. "Talk about bad juju," Josh muttered. "Since we ran into them, I'm going to go over there and give her a piece of my mind." That was too far. Josh started to charge forward, but I held him back. "Forget it. Let's go somewhere else." We turned to leave, but a voice called out from behind us. "Ethan, hold up." Caleb practically skipped over to us, closing the distance in 3 strides. "Why did you block Tori? What did she ever do to you?" Josh laughed, a sound devoid of humor. "You have the nerve to ask? She handed Ethan's spot in the lab to you with 1 sentence. Why shouldn't he block her? Should he keep her around for the holidays?" Caleb looked offended. "What do you mean handed? Every step I took followed the recruitment process. You can't just slander me because you washed out." Victoria walked over then. She looked at me, her brow furrowing slightly. "Caleb is right. Ethan, you need to admit that there's always someone better than you. You need to be brave enough to face failure. It's not a big deal that you didn't get in this time. You can apply again next year. But you cannot slander others." She was actually gaslighting me. I stepped closer to her, locking eyes with her, and enunciated every word. "Victoria Sterling, do you dare say that your hand wasn't in this? That you didn't have personal motives? Do you, dare?" My voice rose on the last 3 words. Everyone at the table was sharp. They knew Caleb's grades. But no one wanted to risk their standing by siding with me. So they stayed silent, watching the drama unfold. A flicker of guilt passed through Victoria's eyes. She reached out to grab my arm. "All right, Ethan, let's talk about this when we get home. I'll explain." I shook her off, violently, stepping into her space. "You don't dare admit it, do you?" The atmosphere turned dead silent. Seeing no one stepping up to defend him, Caleb panicked. He wrapped his arm around Victoria's shoulder and barked at me. "That's enough. If you're mad, come at me." What kind of man corners a woman like this? My gaze dropped to where his hand rested on her. I couldn't help the sneer. "You two. You deserve each other." As I walked out the door, I could hear Caleb cursing under his breath. Forget it. Just let him have it. He's your boyfriend, after all. Regardless of the real results, he should have been the one accepted. I won't take the blame for this. That night, I was back in my apartment packing my bags when Victoria came in. What are you doing? I didn't stop, nor did I look at her. You have a new favorite. I'm stepping aside to make room for the happy couple. What are you talking about? I came back early specifically to explain this to you. She grabbed my arm. I couldn't shake her off this time. Fine, I said. Explain. I'd love to hear what ridiculous justification you've cooked up. Victoria Said. You know, Caleb has been supported by my family scholarship fund since high school. His dream was to get into the Whitmore lab. He's worked hard for years. If he couldn't make it in the end, it would be such a huge regret for him. Since we sponsored him, we should see it through to the end. Helping him achieve his dream provides closure. Stunned. Once I processed her logic, I laughed out loud. So my dream doesn't matter? My hard work was just destined to be a stepping stone for him. Victoria took my hand, rubbing my palm with her thumb, acting like she was the epitome of patience. You're different, Ethan. You have me. He has nothing. If you really want it, I'll just get you straight in next year when a spot opens up. I felt physically sick, fighting the urge to gag, but I let out a pathetic laugh instead. Tell me, who exactly is your boyfriend? Why do I have to wait until next year for something I earned this year? Why couldn't he wait a year to achieve his dream? Is having you supposed to be some kind of prize? Because having you just cost me the career I earned. The barrage of cold questions caused a flash of panic in Victoria's eyes, but it was quickly replaced by anger. Ethan, you don't need to take the moral high ground here. The decision is made. You're not accepting it won't change anything. Other than this lab, I can get you a job anywhere else you want. I can fix this. I tilted my head back, took a deep breath, and zipped up my suitcase. No need. Use your value on him. He needs it more, doesn't he? Seeing me grab the handle of my luggage, Victoria got angrier. Are you done yet? I told you there's nothing going on between us. My boyfriend is you. I turned my back to her, my voice cold. As of this moment, not anymore. Victoria, we're done. Your temper is so weird. What girl could possibly put up with you? I didn't look back. My faculty mentor, Professor Vance, told me that for this round of university corporate partnership projects, he wasn't going to choose Whitmore. I know you were treated unfairly, he said. I sent your academic portfolio to the Pacific Tech Lab in Seattle. They've already replied. They're waiving the standard process and offering you direct admission. They just need some updated experimental data. Get that ready. It was an unexpected lifeline. For the next long stretch, I lived in the university lab, crunching data. I blocked out all noise from the outside world. Only when I had thoroughly processed every data point, submitted the report to Professor Vance, and received his confirmation did I finally let myself relax. Now, I just had to wait for the final offer letter from Pacific Tech. I turned on my phone, ignoring several missed calls from unknown numbers. While scrolling through social media, a cover photo on a post caught my eye. I zoomed in. It was a basketball signed by an NBA legend, a limited edition I had desperately wanted. I hadn't been able to buy it, so I once asked Victoria if she could use her connections to find a seller. She had flatly refused, telling me not to waste my mind on such meaningless things. She said since I didn't have a family background that matched hers, I needed to work harder to gain her parents' approval. And now, Caleb had obtained it effortlessly. Actually, I'm not really into basketball, and I don't know this player that well. I just mentioned it casually, and she went to all this trouble to get it for me. The difference between being loved and not being loved was so stark. It was laughable that I was only realizing it now. But better late than never. Thinking back, the signs were always there. Last year, on Victoria's birthday, I was away on a research trip with my mentor and couldn't make it back in time. The trip ended early, and when I rushed to the venue, the party was already in full swing. I heard voices from a semi-private booth. Princess Tori, I'm still curious. How did you end up with Ethan? He's got such a weird temper, and he's obsessed with academics. He seems so boring. What's so strange about that? You always think the grass is greener until you try it. And once you get bored, you realize it's just grass. He walks around with that high and mighty attitude. If I were a girl, I wouldn't like him either. That was Caleb's voice. Don't say that. I still like Ethan quite a bit. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been together this long, Victoria said, her tone as casual and dismissive as ever. She said she liked me, yet she didn't reprimand the people insulting me. What exactly do you like about him? You like how pretentious he is. He's hardworking and ambitious. He's exactly the type my parents like. And while that cold, academic genius vibe really suits me, his weird temper actually makes me like him more. Teasing him is kind of fun. TCH, you just like being mistreated. You ignore the people who are good to you and chase after the guy giving you the cold shoulder. Victoria laughed. I know you're good to me. Am I not good to you? I heard the sound of Caleb pinching her cheek. Everyone around them started hooting and cheering at the intimacy. Victoria continued. And more importantly, I want to see if he can really make it entirely on his own, without using me as a stepping stone. It's been 3 years, and he really is trying hard. Oof. What's hard about acting for 3 years? Let's see if he asks for your help when graduation comes around. She seemed to accept Caleb's premise, giving only a non-committal home. Back then, I just thought we hadn't fully adjusted to each other yet. We came from different environments, and she did accommodate me in many ways. People who are used to relying on themselves tend to reflect on their own faults first. Plus, we had traveled together for a month that summer, and she hadn't shown any spoiled heiress behavior. She was thoughtful about everything. I thought, no one is perfect. If I enjoyed her good qualities, I had to tolerate her flaws. Furthermore, I had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove to her that the last 3 years weren't an act. That day, I convinced myself to let it go. She never knew I had come back early. Thinking about it now, it was just my lack of experience and inability to see people clearly. Victoria only liked the parts of me that benefited her, not me as a person. That's why whenever there was a conflict between Caleb and me, I was never her priority. A love like that isn't worth keeping. The next day, Victoria found my new apartment. She was holding a thermal food container. You really have the resolve to ignore me completely? It's been a few days. You should be over it by now. I didn't want to engage with her. Here, take this. I made the stew myself. I shouldn't have used that tone with you the other day. What are your plans now? I'll have my dad arrange something for you. I took one look, and the smell alone made me want to vomit. She had forgotten again. I hate lamb. My phone buzzed. I picked it up, and my hand trembled slightly. It was the offer letter from Pacific Tech. Success. Victoria saw the excitement I couldn't hide. You found a job this quickly? Is it legit? Let me see. She reached for my phone, but I dodged her hand instantly. No need. She laughed helplessly. Is that necessary? I am your girlfriend. I composed my face and looked at her coldly. Princess, do you have amnesia? We broke up. You don't need to worry about whether I'm using your resources to climb the ladder. After all, even what I earned through my own hard work was destroyed by one sentence from you. If anyone lost out here, it's me. Victoria's face flushed red. You still haven't moved past that? I told you I'd compensate you. Can't you have a little empathy for Caleb? Whether I'm past it or not doesn't matter. We have no relationship now. Stop bothering me. I walked past her to leave. Behind me, I heard the sound of the container being smashed onto the floor. I remembered something and turned back to her. By the way, that autograph you went to such great lengths to get for him, he doesn't seem to like it all that much. Please, tell your rich and powerful friends not to waste resources. Leave some for the real fans. Victoria chased after me, looking slightly panicked. Ethan, listen to me. I thought after all this time, since you hadn't mentioned it again, maybe you weren't that into it anymore. Caleb said he liked it, and he has so many regrets from his childhood. I cut her off with a scornful laugh. Victoria, you still won't admit it? In your world, he always comes before me. She looked down, speechless. That night, just as I had finished prepping my onboarding documents and was about to sleep, my phone started ringing off the hook. Ethan, Tori is drunk. She's yelling for you to come pick her up. We're at Blue Velvet. Get over here. The background was noisy, and I could hear Victoria's drunken rambling. I'm not going back. Let him come here. I turned up the volume. Did she fail to mention that I broke up with her? Besides, she has no shortage of people rushing to take care of her. Caleb got such huge benefits from her. You guys should give him a chance to repay the favor. The noise on the other end seemed to pause. What are you talking about? Spread rumors again, and I'll sue you for slander. Caleb's furious voice came through the line. The comment about rushing to take care of her clearly hit a nerve. Tonight, every time he tried to get close to Victoria, she pushed him away. The people who had been cheering them on earlier were now looking at him differently, like he was the homewrecker trying to butt in. But Ethan said they broke up. Yet, right at that moment, Victoria started shouting, "Wait, didn't break up." I didn't agree. Ethan, come back. They must have had me on speakerphone. Voices started chiming in. The princess is being so humble. You should quit while you're ahead. Don't push it. Yeah, Ethan, look, you didn't get admitted. You need Tori to look out for you regarding a job. Why talk about breaking up? What good does it do you? I raised my voice again. Victoria Sterling, I broke up with you. If you continue to harass me, it's stalking. The rest of you, don't call me again for any reason. I hung up, feeling my annoyance vanish. I immediately booked a high-speed train ticket to Seattle for a week later. A classmate I got along with well was hosting a birthday party and invited me. Since I was leaving for Seattle in a couple of days, chances to gather like this would be rare. She wasn't close with Victoria, so I assumed she wouldn't be there. I agreed to go. When I arrived at the venue that evening, the first thing I saw was the two of them surrounded by a crowd. I guessed what was happening and turned to leave, but the hostess grabbed me. Top scholar, how did I offend you that you're leaving as soon as you get here? Looking at her expression, Maybe I had misunderstood. She didn't know about Victoria and me. I found a corner to sit in, listening to the chatter nearby. Is the guy next to Princess Tori her boyfriend? Must be. You see them together all the time, but I don't think they've gone public. Bringing him to an event this big counts as going public. I sipped my drink, bored, planning to say a quick hello and leave early. Victoria came over, grinning. Ethan, you look really handsome today. I looked down, ignoring her. She sat next to me. I have a surprise for you today. Not far away. Caleb's gaze shot toward me like a poison dart. Not interested. I still wouldn't look her in the eye. Your temper really hasn't changed a bit. Only I could tolerate you. The birthday girl took the microphone on stage to open the event. Thank you all for coming to my birthday party. We have a lovely couple here tonight who have known each other for years and want to use this opportunity to announce their sweet romance to all their friends. Seeing Victoria walk up and take the microphone, the last shred of hope I had evaporated. She looked toward my corner, beaming. My boyfriend is the brilliant Ethan Cole. We have been in love for 4 years. 2 guys came over and dragged me into the center of the crowd. Next, I want to propose to Mr. Ethan Cole. Victoria pulled out a ring box and walked up to me. Ethan, will you marry me? The birthday girl led the chant. Say yes. Say yes. I turned to look at her. I saw not a trace of guilt for deceiving me. A wave of sadness washed over me. When it came to judging character, I really needed to do some self-reflection. Seeing no reaction from me, Victoria grabbed my hand directly. Oh, come on. Why is a grown man being shy? I'm the girl, and I'm being this proactive. I shook my hand hard. The ring went flying, clattering onto the floor. The chanting stopped dead. We already broke up. How many times do I have to emphasize this? You gave my lap spot to him, gave the autograph of the player I liked to him, took him everywhere with you so people thought you were a couple. Since you love him so much, why don't you two just lock it down? Why are you still harassing me? Everyone's expressions changed, especially Victoria's and Caleb's. Whispers started rippling through the room. So Caleb isn't her boyfriend, but he got in the Whitmore lab? No wonder the real boyfriend is pissed. I only found out today that her boyfriend is this guy. Then what is Caleb? The side piece. Victoria's face went cold. She shouted, enough. The room went quiet again. The birthday girl frowned, trying to smooth things over. Ethan, why are you being like this? I was shocked when she wanted to use my party to propose. A girl of her standing and character. What are you hesitating for? Once you're married, any job you want is just a word away from her. I looked sideways at her, speaking coldly. You didn't treat me as a friend either. I don't believe you didn't know anything. She promised you some benefit, didn't she? Her face flushed with panic. I don't know what you're talking about. If I didn't consider you a friend, would I want the best for you? Stop making a scene. If you don't fix that weird temper, you're going to scare everyone away. Victoria clearly agreed with her, staring daggers at me, waiting for me to show weakness, to be grateful for her proposal. Our eyes met. Memories of the past 4 years played like a slideshow in my mind. Forget it. I didn't say another word, intending to turn and leave. I didn't expect Caleb to suddenly lunge at me. What are you acting so high and mighty for? Tori helped me one time, and you won't let it go. Now you're making people think I'm the other man. Don't think you're leaving until you clear my name. His grip was strong. I knew he worked out, and he knew a bit about anatomy. He was aiming a strike right at a pressure point on my chest. I realized his true intention was to permanently injure me. In this chaos, there would be no substantial evidence to prosecute him later. Such a vicious, stupid mind. I quickly grabbed his wrist and threw a punch with everything I had. He stumbled back a few steps and fell smoothly to the ground. He wiped blood from the corner of his mouth, pushed his tongue against his cheek, and glared at me, screaming, Ethan, you're a violent psycho. Victoria rushed over to help him up, then turned to yell at me. I was the one who made you lose the spot, not Caleb. If you have anger, take it out on me. Why take it out on him? You hurt him. I was stunned for a second, then laughed. I hit him because he attacked me. That's just self-defense. Don't make everything about you. I have nothing to do with you anymore. Princess, do you just love the fantasy of 2 men fighting over you? Caleb likes to compete for dominance to climb the social ladder, but I'm not interested. Victoria stood frozen, seemingly unable to comprehend my words. The party ended on a sour note. After that day, I learned that the birthday girl really had accepted a bribe from Victoria. Victoria had promised to give a project from her family's company to the girl's family business. But because of the scene at the party, the deal fell through. Victoria got chewed out by her father, and she blamed me, sending a text to curse me out. Caleb is right. What are you being so pretentious about? Even if you wanted to refuse, couldn't you have done it later? Did you have to make it so ugly at the party? I finally managed to do something decent in front of my dad, and you ruined it. Ethan, People like you deserve to have no friends. After blocking her, I couldn't help but sigh. That entire social circle was rotten. At the same time, the fact that Caleb got in through the back door became a hot topic because I had brought it up publicly. Although everyone knew how the world worked, procedurally, they were careful. The lab's admission standards weren't just based on grades, but on a comprehensive assessment. This left huge room for manipulation. Subjective reasons like potential and fit, or exaggerating research experience to exploit gray areas. Professor Vance was furious, but he couldn't openly demand justice for me. However, he canceled his original collaborative project with the Whitmore lab, making his stance clear. It was like a slap in the face to both Victoria and Caleb. Collaborating with the local university lab is just a custom, not a hard requirement. The Pacific Tech Lab has developed well in recent years. Moving over there breaks down the old barriers. I was lucky to have such a good mentor all these years. I owed my achievements to him. Just as I was envisioning my future career, Victoria lingered like a ghost. Ethan, I've already talked to my dad. He's giving you an executive position at the company. You should be satisfied now, right? Let the past go. Stop making things difficult for Caleb. After we had completely torn off the mask that day, I thought she wouldn't bother me again. Do you still think the reason I can't move on is because I didn't get your help? I hadn't realized that after 4 years, her understanding of me was still so shallow. I didn't mean that. I just said I wanted to compensate you. I don't need it. I'll earn my own future. If you could just stop obstructing me, I'd be eternally grateful, okay? My attitude was tough and sarcastic, and she lost her patience. Fina, you're capable. You're high and mighty. Just don't come begging to me later. This time, I thought we would finally go our separate ways. I didn't expect that on the day I was onboarding at the Pacific Tech Lab, Victoria would find me again. Ethan, why didn't you tell me you were accepted by Pacific Tech? Seeing her, my reflex was sarcasm. Although you don't have the reach to ruin my future here in Seattle, there's no need to let irrelevant people know about such important matters. Victoria's eyes held a bit more sincerity this time. Ethan, I know now that you really are excellent. You can totally carve out a world for yourself. I was narrow-minded before. Will you forgive me? I miss you so much lately. I suspect you're bad luck for me. Everything has gone smoothly since I left you. So, not having any contact is safer. She got anxious, stepping closer to grab my hand. We have so many years of feelings between us. How can you just give up like this? Mentioning that still touched a nerve. It was such a massive sunk cost. I had truly invested my emotions in those years. You talk about so many years, but how much of that time were you just testing me? What? Did you want to tell me that I've finally passed your little exam? She admitted it openly. I admit I had thoughts of testing you before, given your background. But I completely believe in you now, and I really do love you. Ethan, let's get married. My parents are satisfied with you too. Now is the perfect time. I smile mockingly. Then what about your Caleb? Her tone was urgent. I have nothing to do with him. Getting him into the lab was just helping him achieve his dream. I won't have much to do with him in the future. Ethan, trust me. Her cajoling words always came out so easily, without any logic. Nothing she had done before could be explained away. I shook my head. I don't believe you. After that day, Victoria came to Seattle to intercept me every 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, I heard about Caleb from Mark. Unworthy of the position, disaster follows. That phrase was embodied perfectly in him. The lab's division of labor was rigorous and precise, requiring immediate responses to demands. But Caleb couldn't keep up at all. He frequently disappeared to slack off, delaying experiments multiple times. Everyone had long held grievances against this half-wit who got in through the back door. But since Victoria protected him, they dared not speak out. Caleb felt no guilt about this. Instead, he was smug. He posted on social media bragging that his princess would always clean up his messes. Later, a major project was scrapped before it could launch because he concealed a mistake, causing significant losses. It was so big that even Victoria couldn't protect him. It alerted her father. The others in the lab took the opportunity to jointly report Caleb for negligence. Security footage, attendance records, data reports, the evidence was comprehensive. People started questioning Whitmore Lab's hiring standards, digging up Caleb's poor grades. My mentor also spoke up, stating that his favorite student had been treated unfairly during the hiring process, which was the root cause of him moving the project to another lab. He also questioned Whitmore's recruitment process and hoped for a thorough investigation. Public outrage exploded. In the end, Caleb was fired from the lab for incompetence. The fact that Victoria used her status as a shareholder's daughter to pull strings was also exposed. The online discussion about the incident was intense. So it was Capital manipulating everything. No wonder. The guy who got his spot stolen is so pitiful. I heard he was first in everything, yet he got pushed out. It's too dark. Destroying someone's future with a single hello. If I didn't know better, I'd think they had a blood feud. The criticism spread to Victoria's father's company. She was severely reprimanded, and her position at the company was stripped. After all, she wasn't an only child. She was highly replaceable. This massive fall from grace was a huge blow to a privileged girl like Victoria. She vented all her rage on Caleb. Why did you make such a rookie mistake? And drag me down with you? You idiot. You can't compare to even a finger of Ethan's. Facing the scolding, Caleb initially tried to endure it, planning to play the victim to get sympathy as usual. But hearing Victoria say he couldn't compare to me, he snapped. Yeah, I can't compare to him, but you clearly like me more. Otherwise, why were you so good to me? He broke up with you, yet you're still obsessed with him. You didn't seem to care that much about him before. Victoria froze. Even Caleb said she didn't care enough about Ethan. It showed just how excessive she had been in the past, testing her own boyfriend in 100 ways while giving everything to someone else. She truly regretted it. Ethan was so excellent. He didn't need her at all. And it was true. He didn't want her anymore. After being fired, seeing that Victoria was no longer someone he could cling to, Caleb looked for someone else. But everyone in the circle knew his true colors and avoided him like the plague. Caleb became the laughingstock of the city, his reputation completely trash. People even saw him posting thirst traps in the comment sections of various socialites' posts. Victoria finally realized how blind she had been. For a person with impure motives who only cared about profit, she had lost her Ethan. When I saw the videos circulating online, I just felt that karma was real. Life at the Pacific Tech Lab was fulfilling and exhausting. Once I got into it, I realized it wasn't inferior to Whitmore at all. Recruitment didn't depend on which undergrad school you came from, and student from the home university didn't get priority. They looked only at the individual. Research funding was increasing year by year. Many professors, seeing how my mentor and I were doing, also moved their collaborative projects over. Having lost so many projects, Victoria's father, the largest shareholder, was even more furious with her. He decided to exile her to the subsidiary in Kenya to atone for her crimes, telling her not to come back until she produced results. Before Victoria left the country, she came to find me one last time. In just a month, she had lost a lot of weight and looked incredibly haggard. Those eyes that once captivated me, eyes that held stars and oceans, were now dim. Ethan, I'm leaving. I might not see you for a long time. Speaking of this, tears streamed down her face. Being indifferent to a girl crying in front of you seemed cold, so I took out a tissue and handed it to her. She grabbed my wrist. Ethan, you still can't bear to see me sad, right? Wait for me. Wait until I make something of myself over there, and I'll come back. We'll get married then, okay? Did she only age in years and not in brains? I pulled my hand back forcefully and said coldly, your family is high nobility. A commoner like me can't climb that high. I know you're mad at me. It was my fault before. I never thought Caleb was that kind of person. I gave a soft laugh. Your thought process is truly bizarre. What kind of person Caleb is, does that have anything to do with me? You didn't trust me. You were biased. You treated him well unconditionally and without reason, stringing both of us along. Those are all your issues. Now, you're only coming back to salvage things with me because you realized I don't actually need to rely on you, and because Caleb exposed his true nature. But think about it carefully. Do you really love me? Victoria couldn't say another word. 3 years later, I had achieved many of the wishes I had in my youth. Those things I once couldn't get past were just wrinkles in the tapestry of life. They still existed, but no one cared anymore. At a gathering, many people praised me as the one who had developed the best. They didn't remember at all how they used to belittle me, acting as if I had lost all hope in life without Victoria. Even the girl who had deceived me acted as if she had never sent those nasty texts. She greeted me with a grin. Top scholar. Everyone said you were a blue chip stock back then. And sure enough, they were right. I glanced at her and responded with polite distance. Thanks for the compliment. She smiled awkwardly and didn't come near me again. The former center of attention, though not present, was an unavoidable topic. Did you hear? Victoria is suffering big time in Africa. That place is barely habitable. Her dad is ruthless. Said he was throwing her out, and he really did. He won't let her come back. That's how wealthy families are. When things are fine, you're the treasure darling. But if something actually happens, you become a disposable pawn. It looks glamorous, but honestly, they're worse off than us. Caleb apparently went back to his hometown and started live streaming. It's hard to watch, showing skin and all that. Is that necessary for him? There are so many lanes for streaming, why go that route? Easy money, I guess. Didn't he rely on that girl from the Sterling family before? When has he ever actually worked hard? I listened to the gossip going in circles. It was boring. I left the party before it ended. Time shouldn't be wasted on such ineffective socializing. My life still has infinite possibilities waiting for me to explore. Story complete.